is something pretty remarkable.
This is my movie.
These are our stories.
I am Real.
Are you recording right now?
It ruined my life because I lost my mother.
We were really at the age where it was going to affect us the most.
Listen to my story.
This is my story.
Get inspired by us teens.
This is where I can tell my story. Where teens from New York are given a voice. This is Real Works.
Welcome to Real Works. I'm Byron Hurt. Part of growing up is coming to terms with our relationships with our parents. It's not always easy, especially when families are broken by addiction or divorce. Shalaun Nelson and her brothers and sisters have been in foster care most of their lives. Now 16, she tries to make sense of the events that tore her family apart and faces the difficult choice of whether to let her father back into her life. A Look Through My Eyes is next.
Sometimes there are days where everything is perfect. There are the nights when we sit down and we laugh and we conversate and we talk about things and it really seems perfect. Then there are the days when I, myself, sit in my room and it hits me. Everything is not okay.
Get up, peace and blessings. This is your father. You just give me a chance to meet face to face before you just constantly keep denying me. I'm not a bad guy. You have to understand a father before you just deny him. Give me a chance to explain who I am. I love you, and I miss you. I miss you, Shalaun. I miss you, Kenya. I miss Khalid. I miss Shabazz. I miss Tamahl. I miss Leroy and Tyrone. I miss you every minute of every day of the 16 years that this thing has been going on. I love you, and I miss you.
To replay this message, press 1. To delete, press 7. To return the message sender's call, press 8. To save.
My name is Shalaun, and I'm 16 years old. I've been in foster care for over 14 years, and I've been from foster home to foster home.
Father Melvin Lilly hit your brother Tyrone with the belt buckle.
Like the situation with Tyrone getting hit, the way I heard and every way I heard it was an accident. When he was spanking him, like you know how when you roll the belt out? Like he did it like where he was just holding the buckle in the other end and the buckle swung loose and he was swinging.
But wasn't the only accidental part in that was the fact that it was the belt buckle? Because that's what I heard. I heard that, well, Shamika mentioned that he was abusive already, right? Because Tyrone, like mommy said that Tyrone had a smart mouth. And so I assumed he already beat Tyrone, but the belt buckle was the accident.
The day that they took us away from the house, like, I don't know, I think I was watching TV or something, cops bust in the room, pulled out guns, was talking about freeze. Mommy was like, don't you point that gun at me. No, then they saw us, they started reaching. Mommy pulled me back, I was standing and holding her hand at the time.
And the ACS came in, removed y'all. And I was devastated.
I miss my biological mother, and I only get to see her on visits twice a month. I enjoy the visits with my mother because it makes it seem like everything is normal.
They keep on asking me, do I want to see my father? And then sometimes I get mixed answers, but then now I know I don't want to see him.
Just can't stand him right now. I really don't want to look at him.
My father's not allowed to see us, visit us, or anything. And partially that's my fault. I chose not to know him. And I blame him for everything.
I haven't seen my father since I was a baby, and my brother is the only one who seems to want to see him.
Yeah, if you guys not seeing them, it's like, sometimes I wish you guys really were there on the visits with us. Levi and Tara already, like, just stopped bothering to say hi to him or anything like that. So it gets upsetting and depressing for him, and I kind of understand that. Like, he lives alone, he doesn't get to see, he only sees us for about an hour a week, and sometimes not even that because he's been having financial problems after being laid off.
Give me 2 eggs, Sean.
I love my foster mother, Anita Peterkin, and I would like to get adopted.
You don't need me. Take me a piece. I want a piece over here. A piece? Okay. More. A little more.
But the only thing standing in my way is my father. He will not sign over his rights.
Now, I would still like for us to be a family now, but now I'm not so sure it's the best thing. Like, I'm not so sure it's exactly what I want anymore.
Because it's been so many years.
It's hard to give up your children. I said if they want to be adopted, I just go for surrender with adoption. So I can still be in your lives. Because I can't let go yet. I don't want to let my children go.
Do you feel adoption will tear us apart?
Yeah.
The system took them from you for reasons. I got them. And I don't want to harbor them because these are your kids. You know, I had no idea I was going to keep them. When they came to me June 28th, they was only supposed to have been there 2 weeks. And they've been there almost 10 years. So I just want to say thank you for giving me a chance, as well as them, to prove myself that I am a good mom. Thank you so very much. Look at them. She's 14, she's 16, and I think we did a good job because you played a good part in that too. You're right.
I wanted to interview my father, but I guess I was afraid to. And because I was afraid, I didn't try to. All I have from him are the voice messages and this letter. Shalaun, my eldest princess, I did not create you or any of your brothers or sisters to give away. I love you, I miss you, and I need you in my life to make our family real.
I know that sometimes I don't miss my father because I never actually had my father, so I don't miss him. But I do long for him. I need a father. And what better father than your own father, right? But he's still a stranger. And I just don't know yet if I'm willing to make that transition. If I'm willing to let him become part of my life.
Tamahl Rahaman felt like an outsider in his own home after his mother remarried. He and his stepfather just didn't connect. And that was hurting his relationship with his mom. Tamahl captures the complex emotions between teens, parents, and step-parents in Driving with Jimmy. Next.
Okay, after this is done, I have to go to a wake right quick for a few minutes. So I'll leave you in the car with the car running. I'm not gonna be there long either. All right.
My name is Tamahl Rahaman. I was born on October 13th, 1987 in Biloxi, Mississippi. My childhood has been a blur. I don't know much of what any idea what went down. No. My childhood has been a blur. My childhood is a blur. My mom and dad divorced when I was a year old. I know some of the details of why they split up, but that's not what my film's about. It all starts when I was 7 years old. That's when my mom married Jimmy. I don't remember much of what happened, but all I do remember is being confused. It was all like, who was I? Who was he? Was he just some guy who married my mom? Was he my dad? You know, now I'm 16 years old, and I still don't know what I think, but I'm thinking that maybe it's time to figure this all out.
Do you know what my film's about?
Not really. I guess it's a film on our family activities.
Kind of. It's more about our relationship. Since I kind of first met you and to where we are now, just kind of our growth together.
I met you when your mom was graduating from X-ray school at Long Island College Hospital. I remember walking and talking with you, going up Court Street when I think you were about 5 years old. I would say you were pretty shy. You were very athletic, very smart.
I'm the oldest of 6 kids. There's Matthew, Jimmy's first son. There's Elijah and the triplets, my half-brothers and sister, and then there's me. I'm the only one in the family who isn't biologically connected to Jimmy, and it's always made me feel like an outsider.
I think you and Jimmy got along very well. He supported you in anything and everything you did, and I do remember that it came from you sincerely. You called him Dad. And like I remember I never encouraged you to call him Dad. I never told you that you should call him Dad. I never asked you if you would ever want to call him Dad. It's just something that came out of you.
Look, there are 3 sides to every story. There's the truth, there's her truth, and now here's mine. I've dreamt that as a child I used to not really want to. Like when I first met him, I didn't want to acknowledge the fact that he was my new stepfather or my new father. And for a while I didn't want to call him Dad.
Really? So you think that I may have encouraged you to call him Dad?
Not necessarily, just you may have said, this is your new father and this is what you should do, but left it at that.
No, I never said that.
Did I choose to call him Dad? Who knows? But this much is true. Between work and the family, Jimmy and I didn't have a lot of quality time together. The only way we ever got to talk to each other was when we were driving around in the car alone. Little by little, I got used to him. But then, he was gone. Something happened right after the triplets were born. I don't know what went down, but it automatically took my mom's side.
Well, I'll tell you the truth. I'm a straight shooter, bro.
It's like all I knew was that you and Mom were arguing a lot, and I never knew what it was about or anything.
Well, we used to argue. See, maybe this is too delicate for you, but we argued a lot, and it was my fault. See, one thing I do admit, I'm never right about everything, okay? The lifestyle that I was living when me and your mom was married was probably one of a single person. I mean, not that I ran the streets with different women and stuff, it's just that I spent a lot of time when I got off with, you know, the fellas from the job. We used to drink and do our thing, and your moms didn't approve of that.
1 year later, Jimmy came back, but by then I was a different kid. I had my own style, my own ideas, and there was no room for my family at all, especially Jimmy. He was so far away from my heart that it was like he never really came home.
When you were younger, the 6 years that we were together, I never had to discipline you because we had such a wonderful relationship. If I would say to you, Tamahl, please don't do this, and give you an explanation, you wouldn't do it. You were just a very well-mannered young man who took instruction very well, who only needed to be scolded once, and that was it. I never had trouble with you in school. I never had trouble with you at home. I never really had trouble with you. And so when Jimmy and I got together, it was still that way. It didn't start happening till you got into middle school.
But that was then. Things have changed. Well, some things have changed.
So how would you describe our relationship as it grew, as it changed? As
a family?
Well, between me and you.
Well, I would describe our relationship as I think you do respect me. I would like to say that you love me, but you could only say that. I mean, I love you.
You think I love him?
Do I think you love him?
My mom always said that Jimmy loved me. But hearing him say it made a big difference. I wish I could say that changes things, but I can't. And I wish I could say that makes me feel better, but it doesn't. I know that I'm still searching for myself, and I'm still trying to figure this all out. Like my mom said, things take time. Maybe. With time.
So what do you think we've come? Do you think we've come far?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think our relationship could be a little closer. But, you know, like I said before, some things sons feel a little bit closer to their moms with than they do with dad, you know.
Right.
When her parents' marriage crumbled, Shamoria Fields felt caught in the middle. The experience not only changed her relationship with her mom and dad, it altered the way she felt about love itself, asking the question, how can I learn to love in two separate homes? Next.
All I was thinking about was getting the hell out. That's it. I'm being honest, and you know that. I packed the overnight bag and never looked back. You know I left with just what I had. I didn't take nothing.
Love is not jealousy, it does not brag, it does not get puffed up, it does not behave indecently, it does not look for its own entrance, it does not become provoked, it does not keep account of the injury, it does not rejoice over righteousness, but rejoice with the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. What is the definition of marriage to you?
I don't know. That's why I'm divorced.
My mother's name is Regina Fields. My father's name is Daniel Fields. My name is Shamoria Shazay Freeman Fields. I always thought they would never get divorced. They used to act normal around me. Only time I really knew they had problems when they argue, but every couple argues. You and my dad's relationship was normal for a regular couple?
Not at all. Nothing about me and your dad and I was normal. Nothing.
Why you say that?
It's a lot of things. Nothing was normal about our relationship. I mean, after 2 or 3 months of things looking great, then I go back to the same thing all over again. So to me, it was a waste of time, waste of my years.
Well, what did you think was the purpose of y'all not communicating?
Your father being stubborn, not listening. No, I take that back. That goes from both our parts. Both of us got to a point where we just didn't care anymore. He called my name and aggravated me. I called his name and aggravated him. So once it got to that point, I knew I had to go.
I asked my father to be in my film. He says no.
I just don't like when my parents, like, they don't know how to talk to each other. Why they all gotta curse and carry on? And I wonder why my mouth is so nasty. Because I get it from them. It's like I'm hurt behind this whole thing because I'm always stuck in the middle of this whole situation.
I'm acting like myself.
Oh, I know you are. So can she question you? Can she interview you?
She can make a whole movie on herself.
Daniel, she needs to interview you for her project. You are her father. I didn't make her alone. So are you going to participate? I'm sorry?
I'm assuming the weather clear up.
She has to have it done before the weather clear up. What the weather have to do with her interviewing you in your house? Hello?
So, probably dressed and everything too.
You are dressed. It's not like you naked. Will you let her interview you?
I'm done with him. I don't have nothing else to do with him. That's how bad he hurted me. And not because of the film, he want to be in a film. It's about other situations too. I'm not going to get into that. My father's stubborn. He don't think about himself. Only Daniel feel. That's all he think about. That's all he ever thought about. When I was a baby, yeah, he took care of me. He was like a mother. Because my mother was going out, working 2 full-time jobs, coming home with the money. While he home, ironing my clothes, washing me up when I was a little girl, taking me to school, picking me up from school while my mother was at work. And still, when my mother had to come home from work, she still had to cook and clean. Because my father didn't know how to cook or clean.
Marriage is someone that stays by your side. Y'all have each other's back. You love each other unconditionally. There is nothing that neither party would do for each other. Not somebody that's going to downgrade you or belittle you, but someone that you can depend on, that y'all can depend on each other. Not someone that's ahead of you, yeah, side by side with everything.
When things stopped working out, you off the back, you made a plan that you wanted to get a divorce?
No. When things wasn't working, we talked. We went to counseling. And after things just wasn't getting any better, they was going back to the same routine again. I mean, after 2 or 3 months of things looking great, then I go back to the same thing all over again. So to me, it was a waste of time, waste of my years.
You don't never think about getting back with him?
Nope, no. Me and your father can be nothing but friends. And but just friends. We could never be in a relationship again. As I was dating your dad, I just dated your dad and nobody else, and we got really serious, and then I got pregnant with you, and once I had you, you were 9 months old when we got married. I didn't want you to grow up without a father, and I didn't want to be a statistic and be having children by all different men.
Since it's a divorce, me and my father grew apart. And at first, we was close. Like, we never argued, nothing like that. But now I'm starting to hate him. Nobody could be like my mother. I swear to God, nobody can be like my mother. That's why I love her so much. Without my mother, I won't be Shamoria Shazay Freeman Phillips. I wouldn't be me to this day. My mother taught me a lot. Even when she was working, my mother taught me a lot. Without my mother, I would not be nothing. But, I don't know. Just don't know. Just don't know.
That's it for this week. Join us next time for more unfiltered voices of Brooklyn teens on Real Works with Byron Hurt.